I'm trying to dance. I got a lot of neck work done this morning. We're here because I'm bolting at the moment and putting 10-meter bolts on the roof, and this whole last tour my neck was in so much pain and I couldn't get it out, and Sean just like elbowed me big time this morning. Yeah, so I'm feeling very rigid. So currently sitting at the almost 6-week mark, following a very strict diet plan. So basically leading into the prep, I was supposed to do a bit of a, I guess what you'd call maintenance, which I did not do. I splurged and ate a lot of sugary things, so making the first couple of weeks extremely difficult, but currently sitting at 6 weeks eating the exact same food every day. Basically, we cut a lot of sauce, sugars, oils, everything. I'm sitting at about 420 to 50 grams carbs daily, 260 protein, and about 60 fats. So body's starting to like me for it now. Took about 2 weeks to adjust to, obviously, cutting all the foods that I really enjoy. But yeah, it's starting to feel good. Programming wise, I started basically by doing a bit of testing the first 10 days or so. So now I'm sitting at almost 4.5 to 5 weeks of programming. So Sean Houseman is doing my programming, and I get a personal training session with him and a rehab with him, and have regular time with him where he sorts me out. Dates just got released for, this will be my first bodybuilding competition. I'm competing at Nabba WFF, which will be in Gold Coast on May 17. So the prep was essentially a 20-week prep, so 5 months. We will trying to get as much growth as possible in the first 15 weeks. First 12 weeks. And then for the back 8 weeks, we're going to be pushing, basically trying to get down to the 4% mark body fat wise. So currently sitting at about 105 kilos and around the 11% mark, 10 to 11%. So yeah. As for division wise, that hasn't been decided yet. That's something that we're going to discuss. I never was really sold on a specific category. I just, obviously being quite tall, I'm 6'4". We're just going to see basically how my body is looking closer to the time to see which is the best division for me to compete in. Obviously shorter guys look a lot thicker, so we'll see how we go. Current job is a coal miner. I'm on a production crew, so working at the face where it is extremely humid and dirty, and we do 12.5-hour shifts, and basically trying to adjust to obviously getting the food in. Like ideally, in a perfect world, people would be eating every 2 hours or so, but what me and my coaches have basically decided with me was that we're going to try and just get the amount of food in the 24-hour window, obviously trying to adjust with night shift and things like that. So we, as long as I'm getting in the total amount over that 24-hour window, that's where we sit. It's obviously a lot more difficult to train away from home, obviously with the limited time, because by the time I travel to and from work, I have basically an hour maximum to get a pretty solid session in, and then that leaves me with about 6.5 hours sleep. So not ideal conditions, but yeah, really want to obviously prove to myself that it can be done more than anything. And yeah, I guess what I really want to accomplish out of this, a big win for me, is completing the prep and getting on stage and having done everything I possibly could in the situation that I'm in. Success for me is basically the biggest thing that I would like to achieve out of this is creating a very strong mental state. Obviously there's 1,000 reasons of why you can't do something. So I'm really trying to just focus on being able to do it in not the best conditions. And a win for me and success in this is getting on stage, knowing that I've done the best that I possibly could, and doesn't matter the result. Obviously, this as being my first bodybuilding comp, I don't really have any high expectations of placing or anything like that because I haven't really got the experience or know what I'm sort of coming up against. So after this, I will have like a reassessment, and then obviously we'll know what was working and what wasn't working during the preparation period, and then we will start to push for a more, I guess, a bigger push to get up in the higher numbers of rankings and things like that. Yeah, the biggest thing that I enjoy out of this is, I guess, I've always been like, into sports and into competition and things like that, and I personally believe that this is the hardest sport on the planet to prepare for. If you're a weightlifter or just a football player or something like that, you can have lenient meals during the week. Obviously there is a massive element of sacrifice that goes into this. As for competing at this sort of level or division, the slightest change of diet can influence the entire result. So for me, that's what stood out about it, because I know that if I can compete this, that I'm one of the only probably few in the world that have been able to do it. So the thing that I probably enjoy most about it is, though, obviously having a lot of image issues in my younger years, is just being comfortable with how I look, and obviously watching the changes that have come in the short period of time from dieting and following a very strict regime. So that's the part that obviously really helps the motivation, noticing changes in yourself, and obviously the confidence boost that comes with it and that sort of thing. Yeah, so obviously bodybuilders have this reputation of being very self-absorbed, which is completely understandable because it is literally about yourself and trying to make yourself the best version of yourself. For me though, I would love to use this to get to a point of influence where I can encourage the average Joe that they can do it. And show that all it takes is a belief pattern and mental stamina, and you can achieve it. A lot of bodybuilders, they get around the other big famous bodybuilders, and they love, just promoting themselves. If I got to a point of influence, the main thing I'd like to do is go train with the younger gen, the guys that are just starting out, because I remember how intimidating it was when I first went to the gym and being around guys that were a lot bigger than me, and I just didn't feel very comfortable. So what I'd really like to do is just inspire all younger generations and new guys coming through, and just get around helping them and be a positive influence more than anything else. Really want to encourage a positive mindset and teach people how to be positive. Doing something like this, as I was saying, it's very self-absorbed. So I'm very thankful that my family's been on board with what I want to achieve. And also I'm very thankful for my coaches, Sean and Jamie as well, for obviously helping me and giving me the tools to accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish. And also very thankful to Nutrition Co for sponsoring me through this journey. Obviously helping me. I've got a great relationship with the team that work there, and very thankful that they are giving me the supplementation that I need, but also supporting me and just promoting what I'm trying to do as well. Okay, so obviously at the moment we're in the building phase, so next 6 weeks is try to whack on as much size as possible while I'm sitting at a bit of a higher body fat. Obviously it's harder to build muscle when your body fat percentage is very low. So next 6 weeks we're going to really focus on trying to get as much size, especially in my genetic weak points. Obviously being very tall, there's a lot that struggles to get any size, but that's where we're going to put most of our focus. And before we come into the calorie cut and trying to get down and obviously get rid of as much water as possible. So today is it's actually just a bit of a more relaxed day where I'll focus on training my favourite muscle groups, and also some that are lacking slightly.
No, where's that? Toes?
My calves.
Don't talk about it.
No, doesn't matter how much you train them, they don't grow. It's just a fact. Look at Larry Wheels. Look at Larry Wheels. Yeah.